I've been on Nofap for 30 days now, so I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 benefits which I experienced during those 30 days. But what I will say before I get into it is you might not experience all those benefits. You probably will experience most of them, but everyone's Nofap journey is going to be different. One of the first things I noticed was a massive increase in confidence. Because on this journey, on this path of Nofap, there are 2 versions of yourself. There's the version of you who can't even resist the urge, who has to go to its bed every day to bust one off. And then there's a version of you who resists that urge, who's overcome the addiction. Which version of yourself do you have more respect for? It's obviously the second one, right? You're gonna have such a better self-image, and that's where your confidence is gonna come from, because you have overcame one of the hardest addictions that actually is. So if you're looking for a reason to start Nofap, let that be one of them. Let it be that you'll have such a better self-image and so much more confidence. Second thing was an increase in energy levels, and I mean quite a big increase. I'm talking in the morning, when I was working out, while I was in school working, just throughout the day. And I don't know if this was just because of Nofap, because I was getting my diet on point, I was getting more sleep, I was doing all that stuff, but I think it definitely did make an actual difference. I remember being in the gym doing, I don't know, my first 2 or 3 exercises and then just feeling exhausted after doing those. But after starting this, after being on for 30 days, I can go the whole workout and even more now without feeling completely exhausted. And the same thing goes for my work. I could work for longer without being distracted, probably because my dopamine wasn't going up and down so much. But yeah, if you want another reason, that's one of them. You are gonna experience more energy to a little bit more energy. It just depends on the person, I feel like. And you've got to make sure you're matching that with a good diet, good sleep, you know, do all the healthy habits as well as doing this. Now for this next one, I'm not sure if many people will agree with me, but for my third benefit, I started to appreciate the smaller things in life. I started to be more grateful for the smaller things in life. And what I mean by that is walks in nature, you know, even making my coffee in the morning and just even going to the gym. All these daily activities that I took for granted, I started to appreciate a lot more because my dopamine wasn't going all over the place. Let's say you have a FAP in the morning, your dopamine is gonna skyrocket, and what comes up must come down, so you're not gonna enjoy the smaller things that you do in the morning. So you're gonna enjoy a lot less the activities that you might take for granted, like even just going for a walk in the morning for 5 minutes, stuff like that. And what you'll find is that you'll actually become excited to do those habits you took for granted now that you're actually on Nofap, now that your dopamine isn't being fried straight away in the morning or midway through the day. So if you're going to be more excited for these habits, you're going to have so much more motivation to do them. And these are healthy habits. These are going to the gym, taking walks in nature, getting sunlight, all of that. And so that was benefit 3, and the last 2 are actually a lot better. Okay, so the 4th benefit I experienced, and I don't know if many people will agree with me on this, but it was a different perception on women, a better perception on women in my opinion, because when you're fapping every day, all you're thinking about is a woman's cheeks and cherries, right? So when you're talking to them in real life, all you're thinking about is that. You're not actually focusing on talking to them, being present in the conversation. All you're thinking about is their cheeks and cherries, because your brain has been trained to do that multiple times a day, every day. But when you stop fapping, when you actually get onto this path, you're going to be so much more present in actually speaking to them. And that's so important, because at the end of the day, that's what women want. They want a man who's going to be present for them, who can actually support them in times of need. Okay, so the 5th and final main benefit I experienced was just having control over my mind. Because what a lot of people nowadays don't even realise is that fapping is basically like a drug. So many young men fail to quit it. And what does it take to quit it? It pretty much takes control over your mind. You need to have control over your mind to quit this thing. And if you can quit this, then you can transfer that to anything in your life. For example, if you struggle to go to the gym every day, if you have control over your mind, if you can successfully quit fapping, then going to the gym every day won't be as much of a problem, because you've overcome this, one of the hardest drugs to get over. Another example, let's say you want to fix up your diet, you want to quit sugar, you want to stop eating junk food. Now that you have control over your mind, now that you've quit this stuff, I actually found that quitting sugar, not eating junk food, wasn't too much of a problem, because this Nofap was harder to overcome. Now, I'm not saying you can overcome every addiction once you overcome this one, but I'm willing to bet you could probably overcome most of them in your life if you can actually quit this one. Because most young men nowadays have this addiction and can't quit. So if you can do this, I'm willing to bet you can pretty much quit anything you actually put your mind to, now that you have a bit more control over it. But yeah, that was the 5 main benefits I experienced. I hope you got something from this video. I hope this gave you motivation to actually start this journey. And remember, you might not experience all these benefits straight away. It might take weeks, it might take months, but I think eventually you will experience them. But yeah, that's it for today. Good luck.